in with traditional, contemporary, or modern kitchen decor. Rolling pins, meat mallets, cutting boards, trivets are some of the many items this Czech company makes out of beech, a hard and durable type of wood. The first step is to dry out the logs. This prevents the wood from expanding and contracting with humidity changes, and eventually cracking. The factory air dries the logs outdoors for about 7 months, then heat dries them in a kiln for 3 to 4 weeks. When the moisture level is down to between 8 and 10%, the wood is ready. Each log first goes through a large automated hacksaw. It slices vertically, cutting the log into several pieces of the specific thickness required for the kitchen accessory in production. Next, a dimensioning saw cuts the pieces to the required length. The final saw cuts the pieces to the required width. To make a cutting board, they run one edge of the cut piece through a gluing machine. Then they assemble the pieces, edge to edge, in a press. The number of pieces they put together depends on the size of the cutting board they're making. After an hour clamped under pressure, the pieces bond into a large panel. Workers then cut the panel into the smaller pieces, each of which will become a cutting board. A computer-guided milling machine cuts the shape of the cutting board, which in this case is a model with a recessed middle, designed to catch crumbs. They submerge the cutting boards in vegetable oil, then let them air dry for a day. Oiling nourishes the wood, which prevents it from drying out. The oil also enhances the color and brings out the beauty of the wood grain. To make rolling pins, workers feed the cut wood through a planer. It finalizes the dimensions to 2.8 by 2.8 inches wide by 10.2 inches long. Then they mount several pieces at a time onto a machine which has multiple lathes. As each lathe spins over the course of about 30 seconds, successive tools turn the wood to a cylindrical shape and sand the surface. One cylinder at a time, workers drill a half-inch hole right through the middle. Meanwhile, a small lathe turns 1.2 by 4.2 inch blocks of wood into rolling pin handles. Workers saw off excess wood at the outer end of the handle and sand the area flat. The finished handle goes into a revolving barrel of varnish for about an hour. All the parts are now ready and assembly can begin. After giving the ends a quick sanding, they hammer a nylon ring into the hole on each side of the pin. The ring diameter is slightly larger than that of the hole, so it locks in. Next, they insert a zinc-coated steel rod all the way through. Position the rolling pin in a press, fit a handle on one protruding end of the rod, then a second handle onto the other end. They activate the press, which forces the handles all the way onto the rod. The pin rolls smoothly thanks to the nylon rings. These kitchen accessories showcase the natural beauty of wood. Wood that's FSC certified, meaning it comes from a forest that's managed according to standards of environmental protection. A central vacuum doesn't have to be pulled or carried from room to room and up and down stairs. Its power unit containing the motor and dirt receptacle is mounted on a wall, usually in the basement or garage. This stationary unit connects to plastic ducts that run inside the walls to inlets in different parts of the home. You plug the attachment hose into the nearest inlet, and the central power unit suctions the debris through the wall ducts. Being stationary, weight isn't an issue. Therefore, central vacuum motors are larger and more powerful than those in portable vacuum cleaners. A factory makes the main body of the power unit out of a steel sheet about 4/10 of an inch thick. A press punches out the openings required for the various components. A forming roller rounds the sheet into the unit's circular shape. They close the circle by tack welding a few key spots. Then they weld the entire length. This continuous seam makes the unit airtight for optimal suction and to prevent the collected dirt from escaping. They use the same material and technique to form the sides of the power unit's large dirt receptacle. Then, a hydraulic press rolls a rim at the top, making the receptacle safe for the user to remove, empty, then put back in place. They make a rim on the bottom edge as well, sealing it over the bottom plate of the dirt receptacle. Then they put the power unit's main body on a hydraulic press and shape a rim that connects to the dirt receptacle. Next, they make a support for the motor and tack weld a mesh basket under it. The basket supports the vacuum cleaner's filter. The power unit's main body goes on top of the dirt receptacle. The motor support and filtration basket fit inside. And a cover goes on top. Now, the unit gets a coat of high-quality epoxy paint. The application system is electrostatic, meaning it charges the unit with a negative current and the powder paint particles with a positive one. This magnetically draws the particles onto the unit in an even layer. Then 45 minutes in an oven bakes it on for extra durability. They seal the connection between the dirt receptacle and the power unit main body. This must be airtight for two reasons: to prevent air from leaking through, which would lessen suction power, and to prevent collected dust from escaping. Next, they line the main body's motor compartment with soundproofing foam. An adhesive backing holds it against the compartment walls, and dabs of liquid adhesive secure the corners. They install a filter on the outside to capture carbon dust. Carbon dust is a fine black dust which electrical motors emit. Now they apply decals bearing the series name and model number. They use a laser level to position them perfectly straight in just the right spot. Back to the motor compartment now. The electric motor sits on this rubber foam gasket and rubber legs, both of which absorb vibration. They also prevent metal-to-metal contact between the motor and body, the secret to the vacuum's quiet operation. Whereas portable vacuum cleaners have a lightweight motor with a single fan, this motor is a large, heavy-duty, long-life steel motor with 3 fans. The electronic components go into the neighboring compartment. Then workers use a variety of equipment to test suction, voltage, and other specifications. They connect an LCD display on the outside, cap the compartments with a motor cooling insulated disc, then the unit's cover. The factory's lab selects a certain percentage of units at random for quality control testing. During operation, the LCD screens on both the power unit and hose handle display the power level. They also indicate when the unit needs technical maintenance, when to empty the dirt receptacle, and when to remove and wash the filters.